What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This week is the third and final faction rally for Season 3 in Destiny 2. This video is going to be about the various tips and strategies that you can use to get faction tokens more quickly and to rank up faster. Going from rank 0 to rank 50 will take you 1,000 tokens. So this video is going to be about how to get those tokens faster and more efficiently. The first thing you want to decide is which location to go to. Right now I am at the EDZ. Very good location for faction token farming because there's a multitude of public events that are always happening here, and some of these lost sectors are much easier than others. The other location that might be even faster than Earth is Titan. Titan is a very good location to use for faction token farming because it's a smaller map, because there's only 2 areas that have public events. All of the public events that happen here on Titan are very easy to turn into heroic, which is very important. And the lost sector here in the rig is one of the shortest and easiest lost sectors to do. So regardless of which area you choose, Titan or Earth, you want to make sure that you're maximizing the amount of renown that you get. The amount of renown you get depends on the activity that you're doing. If you're not wearing the faction armor, right now I have the faction armor for Future War Cult. If you're not wearing that armor, you'll get 3 renown for a heroic public event, and you'll get 1 renown for a patrol and 1 renown for a high value target. If you are wearing the faction armor, and I highly recommend wearing all the faction armor, if you have each piece of gear, instead of getting 3 renown for a heroic event, you'll now get 4. Likewise, instead of getting 1 renown for a patrol or a public event, 1 renown for a patrol or a high value target, you'll now get 2. But you got to make sure that you have all the armor pieces. If you don't have all the armor pieces, it won't work. So make sure you're getting that armor early and often. It'll make your life that much easier. And it's also more forgiving too, because you can afford to die sometimes for getting that extra renown. Once you decide the location that you want to go to, once you have the correct armor for getting renown faster, you want to make sure that you have different perks and weapons to combat the effect of having renown. Whenever you have renown, it's twofold. You don't do as much damage to enemies, and you also don't regain your health, or you have very slow health regeneration. So there's a number of ways that you can combat that. Right now I have Crimson equipped. This weapon's great for token farming because you'll get your health back. You can also use a weapon like Service Regime if you don't have Crimson. And you also want to make sure too that you want to have some type of perk on your character to get health back. Right now I am on my Warlock, so I can use a Healing Rift. That'll come in very handy. Obviously the Warlocks have a bit better off than the Titans or Hunters, but the Titans have a chest piece of armor that gives you back health, or gives you back some health, and the Wormhusk crown for the Hunter can also be somewhat useful. But the Warlock is definitely the best character I think to use for token farming because of that rift. So make sure you have any type of perk you can use, and ideally you would be using Crimson. Those 2 things will help you out immensely when it comes to not dying when you have renown. You want to make sure that you're utilizing renown as much as you can, and dying unnecessarily is going to be one thing you want to make sure you are avoiding. The other thing too, and I'll demonstrate it here at the lost sector on Earth, this is the very first lost sector you go to, one that you'll probably be doing quite often here during this faction token farming. You want to make sure that you are avoiding unnecessary deaths. So in this lost sector here, what you'll see is there's a number of different exploding barrels here. I recommend taking those out right away. Not only will you probably get a few kills by taking those out, but you're also going to minimize the chance of you dying by it unnecessarily. So you want to make sure you're not having silly deaths like that. So I would take out all these barrels here. Make sure that you're not getting damaged by them. And you also too want to take out the lost sector explosives. While they don't give you health anymore, you'll probably get, or while they don't give you tokens anymore, you want to make sure you're blowing them up so you don't get hurt by them, and they'll also take out some enemies too in the process. So you want to get through these lost sectors quickly and efficiently, but you want to make sure too that you're not getting blown up by barrels and dying and losing renown, since that is not fun to do at all. So key thing here is number of key points. Wear the faction armor. Have a weapon that gives you your health back. Pick the location that you want to go to, either EDZ or Titan. Whichever location you go to, make sure you're using a ghost that either gives you more rewards from public events, or something that lets you detect caches easier. That's always going to be a bit more bang for your buck as well. And the last tip I would have is, if you're not playing these with your friends, number one, you want to make sure you're doing these with your buddies. It's much easier. But if you're not, you want to make sure that you're saving your super and your heavy ammo. That'll make it much easier to just rush in here, take out the boss, and get that lost sector loot. Loot these with at least 4 renown. You don't necessarily need to have 5 renown. If you have 5, you'll get 10 tokens. If you have 4, you'll get 8. So not much of a drop off. If you loot this with only 3, though, you'll only get 4 tokens. So loot a lost sector with at least 4 renown. Ideally have 5. Last but not least, you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of the daily challenge as well as the weekly challenge. So last time, for instance, the weekly challenge was loot a lost sector with 5 times renown. The daily challenge on the first day was loot a lost sector on Nessus with 3 times renown. So if you want in and loot that lost sector on Nessus with 5 times renown, you're knocking out the daily challenge and the weekly challenge all at once. And I believe that you got 40 faction tokens by doing that. If you have more than one character, like for instance I have 3 characters, I was able to get 120 faction tokens in less than an hour by knocking out the daily and the weekly challenge. So it is much faster to get tokens when you have more than one character, but make sure no matter what that you're taking advantage of those daily and weekly challenges. That'll help you get tokens much more quickly. If you do all these things, you'll be swimming in faction tokens. You'll easily be able to hit that rank 50. It will take you a grind to do that, but these are the best ways of going about doing it. Let me know which faction you're going to pledge with in the comments. I'll be curious to find out. I'm going with New Monarchy. I'm going to try to get that sweet business catalyst. Let me know if this video was helpful. Most importantly, though, thanks for watching, and good luck this week in Faction Rally. Talk to you all soon.